going on, everybody? We're celebrating our seniors. I do have some questions on here that I do want to run through. Knowing that I still work for the church and I would like to continue to do so, and that your church family might see this, or some of them might see this at some point, what's your favorite memory of being involved in youth ministry?
Just meeting so many new people and so many people that can give you a different perspective and a different way of thinking has been really cool and really useful.
Yeah.
The first Costa Rica trip was super, and I had no idea what was going to happen, and it was just perfect.
My favorite part of that was when we missed our connection and we spent that night in Dallas.
Oh my gosh, yes.
In and out.
In and out.
So not the Costa Rica part, just the Dallas.
No. We ordered so much in and out.
Oh my God.
I think we ordered 6 burgers.
The irony is that the Dallas stop was all of your favorite part, and all of the adults' favorite part. It was, we all hated it, and y'all were just like, "Can we just do this instead?" Why did we? Then we could have just gone to the Red Roof down the street, and I don't know if it would have been as much fun. But we get there. Okay, so we're gonna bring in our first special guest who wants to say hey real quick.
I'm so glad to see all of you on here, and I know this has been a year of challenges, right? Unexpected challenges, probably, and not in the way that you expected to finish out your senior year by any means. But you've been prayed for probably more than any seniors we've ever had. How about that? I will say that. Congratulations, grads. I'm so proud of you for sticking with this and going through this challenging time and finishing online and doing all that. I know this has been frustrating and disappointing in a lot of ways, and just a whole lot of challenges. But God's got something wonderful in store for you. I know that. There's a verse in the Bible that I hold on to, especially during times like this, and one that I think you should hold on to going into your freshman year. And it's Jeremiah 29, and it's not just verse 11, because we tend to stop at verse 11 because that's the memory verse that we learn kind of in confirmation. I know the plans I have in mind, you declares the Lord, they are plans for peace, not disaster, to give you a future filled with hope. And that's kind of where we stop. That's our memory verse. But then if you go on in verse 12 and 13, it says, when you call me and come and pray to me, I will listen to you. And when you search for me, yes, search for me with all your heart, you will find me. And one of the things I always say to seniors going into their freshman year in college is, not too much of anything. Find balance. Find balance. Not too much partying, not too much studying, not too much alone time, too much friends, not too much of anything. Find your balance, okay? And that way you can remember who you are and whose you are, okay? And as my grandma used to say, birds of a feather flock together. Pick your friends wisely. Okay. Find that balance and you're going to be great. Keep God first in your life. Keep God first in your heart and you're all good. All right, guys.
Amen. Thank you. See you later.
Bye. Bye.
Thank you so much.
Mm-hmm.
What's up, man?
Hey, Sean, Brittany, how are you guys doing?
Hey. Oh my God.
Good. Thanks for hopping on.
Hey, everybody. I'm gonna slide through. I'm gonna slide through and see all you guys. I miss you all. I just want to say congratulations. Gosh, it's hard to believe you guys are graduating already. Such a dynamic class. You've all stuck together and done everything. You've done these mission trips to Kansas City and Costa Rica, and I've heard all those stories. I feel like I was there. I don't know. I don't have a lot of inspirational things to say, but I think one thing I do want to say in years to come, when you look back on 2020, I hope you remember it for what it is, for the sense of accomplishment you should feel on all that you've done to get to this point, and you don't remember it for this stupid virus and everything that it's caused us. You guys have done a great job, and I'm proud of all of you. Congratulations. I've seen a lot of classes go through, and you guys are one of the best. It's just so cool the way you all hung together and you do things together. It's been a pleasure knowing you and playing Gaga Ball and oh my God, how can we forget marathon sessions of 9 Square?
We literally just talked about that before you got done.
Congratulations again, and I look forward to seeing you for the 9 Square. And thanks for what it meant to me. It's been wonderful knowing you all. Scripture verse I'd like to read. Just
Go ahead.
off here. It's from Romans, and it says, "May the God of hope fill you with all joy and peace in believing, so that by the power of the Holy Spirit you may abound in hope." I have bright hope for your future, and I know you guys are going to do well. Congratulations, guys. Good seeing y'all.
Thank
All
you.
right, man. Thank you. Love you, dude. Talk to you later.
They're saying when you sleptwalk.
When you slept walk was the funniest thing I've ever seen. When you in Costa Rica, you weren't even sleep walking. You were like, describe it. You were like sleep acting.
See, and I think I would normally say that is also my favorite, but considering like I was asleep, like literally the only really funny part about that memory for me was waking up the next morning or waking up that night and you guys were just like,
at 6
grilled cheese, we're cooking rice, and I was like, whoa.
Yeah. So I think Jason, who's here, was up with us, and Paul, who's here, was up with us, and Lauren Coco. I think it was just the 4 of us. Is that it? And Maniac Katie.
I was.
All right, let's have this next dude on. See what's going on here. Oh, damn!
What's up, Will?
You can see you. You can't hear him quite yet. There he is, man. Hey. How are you?
I'm good. Check it out.
Oh, yeah. I love it. That's awesome, man. Thanks for hopping on, dude.
Yeah, it's great to see you all. And congratulations are in order, I understand. What does it feel like to be part of a historical senior class? Like, I mean, is there ever going to be another senior class that's going to be able to say they did what you guys did? Things down here are, they're as good as you could hope in a situation like this. But I was thinking about, like, when I was a senior in high school, and I actually just got a message from my home church asking what was the best piece of advice you got as a senior in high school. And I have no idea. Like, I can't remember anything that anyone told me that I thought, oh man, I'm glad I heard that. That kept me out of trouble. I've got a couple of cousins that told me don't screw up so bad your first semester in college that you spend the next 4 years trying to make up for it. So maybe that was important to hear. So, take it easy. You're going to have tons of time to do the fun stuff that you want to do. Don't go overboard. The missionary in me just kind of wants to say how glad I am that you guys grew up in a church that has given you opportunities to be involved in missions, not just here, but in other places. And I hope that as you guys go on to wherever you're going, that you'll take that with you, that'll remain a part of who you are, and that you'll not only remember those experiences, but you also look for opportunities to continue doing that kind of selfless service work, because that's important. It's important. It keeps you grounded, and it reminds you of who you are and whose you are. And I think that's important, because you're going to hear a lot of different voices and a lot of different opinions and a lot of different perspectives, and that's good. It's good to hear that stuff, but it's also good to remember who you are. And we and the leaders around you, they've spent a lot of time and effort and kind of help you guys figure out who you are. And I'm just blessed that part of that is coming down here and working with us.
Thanks for hopping on, man. Say hello to everybody and tell them we miss them and we can't wait to see them again.
I will. It's great to see you guys, and we'll see you next time you come down.
Well, talk to you soon. Thanks later. Thanks, man. Bye, girls.
Bye. Bye.
See ya.
See you, man.
Bye.
Thanks for hopping on.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Yeah.
There you go. What's up, man?
Hello, guys. Oh,
Thanks for
this
coming
is
on.
great. Oh, so good to see you today. I won't ask how your year's going. Can't be the best year to graduate from high school, but Sean asked me to come in and say hi to folks that could join. It's great to see you guys. You were my favorites among the confirmation class. I'm sure you already knew that, so I don't really have to say it, but
He says that to all of his classes.
Yeah, that's right.
So.
Every year I ask Steve to be involved, and every year he does that. That's actually not true. I actually, because Steve comes to whenever we have our senior gatherings, he comes to as many of them as he can, and he's.
I do. And aren't you? I mean, Sean, I'm trying to remember. What was this? Were you guys in the first year that I kind of got back involved in confirmation? I think. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So there's a space in my heart for you guys and the whole class. So. Glad to see you here.
What's the best thing that you've learned from your time with Salem specifically in the since really youth ministry? What's the best thing you've learned?
You can like get to know people and become really close friends with people that are totally different than you, that like totally different things than you, just over one single thing. And all you have to do is smile. All you have to do is be nice. And I think Steve does that every single time that I see him. He's always smiling, always being nice. So he just exemplifies what that is and how like we've learned that over our time.
It was definitely both of you, but I will say my memory goes straight to Sean just being so like laid back and so open to just having conversations with us. And so I think that definitely had a big impact on the entire experience as a whole.
Oh, that's so cool. I hope you remember with, when we talked about what confirmation means and your, the idea that it's okay to ask questions and that we don't have strict boundaries of what you must believe and what you can't believe and things. And I hope you take that through your experience going forward. I'm sure Sean mostly, imparted you the memory of con queso and what that means. But the most important part of that is you've built a foundation, and hopefully Salem is such a big part of that foundation that we've been a church where you can feel safe and free, right? To ask questions, to believe what resonates with your soul, and that you'll come back, maybe not to Salem, but come back to that part of your faith, that foundation that you built, and be able to, as an adult, remember that you made a decision. Those of you that graduated from confirmation, you made a decision to proclaim your faith. And that's always something that you can come back to. And Salem can always be a home where you can remember fondly that's where you made that commitment. And we're so proud of you. And we can't wait to see where you're all going next.
The importance of connections, with people.
Sometimes what makes you happy isn't going to be what other people think is cool or whatever, but just do it anyways because it doesn't matter, I think.
You can't teach yourself to be dedicated or a work ethic. You have to find that in yourself. No one else can say that to you, and no one else can tell you what you want to do and what you should do. At the end of the day, it's all up to you. And if you don't want to do something, no one can tell you to do it and be happy. You have to find that in yourself and do it for yourself.
When I was 13, I just wish I had someone who could whisper in my ear, it's okay to make mistakes. It's okay to mess up. You're do not expect perfection. Do not expect for everything to go your way 24/7. things are gonna happen, you're gonna mess up, but like it's not the end of the world. It's not, it's not gonna be the thing that ends you. Like it's a part of life. Like you're gonna mess up, and you have to not like plan for it, but you just have to expect it, so that when it happens, like you're not totally crushed and like super down.
If I could tell myself one thing, it'd be like, you think that people remember a lot of what happened, like you like get caught up on stuff, but if like 2 weeks later you could be like, oh, do you remember when I like tripped on myself or like made a fool of myself? And they're like, no. Like half the time, like, yes, like connections, like Jason said, like with people like us, like finding your group is super important, but for like a lot of people like kind of just roll with the flow, and like they're not caught up on every single thing that happens to you. Like the world doesn't revolve around you, so don't get caught up on making mistakes, like what Katie said.
All right, we're gonna let the next person on to say hey.
Hi everybody, how are you doing?
I did.
Hi.
So good to see everybody. I just wanted to hop on for just a minute and just say how I'm just so impressed with all of you guys, and you guys are crazy awesome, historically awesome people, and because of that you had to have a historic end to your senior year, which was unlike any other, and of course the beginning of your next year is going to be unlike any other, but that's for a purpose, because you guys are special. And I do think that God has a good, an amazing plan for all of your lives. And I just wanted to, I don't have a lot of advice to share because I'm just a dude, but I do want to just share some advice that Jesus gave all of us, which was when he was asked by anybody, what's the most important thing? What's the main thing? He always said this, because it's recorded in several places in the Bible, that you should love God with all of your heart, with all of your soul, with all of your understanding, all of that, all of you, and then you should love your neighbor as yourself. I've heard there's one Christian author that I really like who calls that crazy love. And I just want to encourage you guys, as you're moving into the next phase of your life, love God with crazy love. And then love the people around you with crazy love. I think that's the best advice that Jesus could give any of us, and I hope you guys can take that to heart as you move into this next phase of life. But anyway, huge congratulations to you guys. You're amazing, and I'm excited about what you're going to do next. Okay, take care, guys.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. All right, we're gonna do a double feature here next. Triple feature? Yeah. Why not? Triple feature.
I don't know if our bandwidth can take a triple feature.
Yeah, apparently not mine. Yeah, I'm hosting.
Ole.
Yeah.
What's up?
This is the biggest surprise of the night right here.
Congratulations on graduating finally.
Yeah,
I'm so excited. Yeah.
I know it takes forever whenever you're like sitting in school and all of your classes are like kind of winding down. It's just like, let me out of here. But yeah, you made it through.
So we pulled Paul and Evan on
at the same time. This is the first time in the history of senior Zoom session. This is the first one.
Yeah, we can hear
Right. If I'm gonna try and share my screen.
Hola amigos, bendiciones, saludos desde Costa Rica. Queremos felicitarlos por esta graduación que tienen ustedes allá. Saludos al pastor Sean y a cada uno de ustedes. Hermanos, les extrañamos y queremos decirles que estamos orando por ustedes, pero muy agradecidos con Dios de saber que ustedes se están graduando ahora en este proceso. Les bendigo, saludos de mi familia y de nuestra iglesia, bendiciones.
Hola, que somos la familia Espinosa desde Costa Rica. Les saludamos deseándoles muchas felicidades por el triunfo que próximamente van a lograr. Entonces, les saludamos desde Costa Rica.
Hola, ¿cómo están? Mucho gusto, de verdad que estamos muy agradecidos de poderles felicitar por este logro que están obteniendo, y bueno, les apreciamos mucho como amigos. Gracias a Dios podemos tener una muy buena amistad, así que de nuestra parte como familia y como pastores les felicitamos, y quiero leer un texto para ustedes en el libro de Proverbios capítulo 2 versículo 6, Dice, porque Jehová da la sabiduría y de su boca viene el conocimiento y la inteligencia. Nos sentimos muy contentos de haberles conocido, de las veces que nos han acompañado y por el apoyo que hemos podido sentir de ustedes. Les felicitamos y deseamos poder verles pronto con nosotros en nuestra casa. Que Dios les bendiga y sigan adelante.
Saludos, esperamos verlos muy pronto. Chao.
One of the biggest things for my faith was that second trip in the late night talks we used to have, because those like made me like realize that being a Christian is not like a task. It's like what you want to do.
Part of like my journey with the church, like that has affected me and like changed me the most was like I really think like middle school, like joining the youth group in middle school. Like I came in at 6th grade and I just remember having so many questions, and I just remember Salem being so patient and so accepting of having someone who clearly might not know a lot about their religion or the religion that they want to learn more about, but it was also just everyone was so hands-on and helpful for me to get the answers that I want and to find different ways to ask questions.